chosen one. Heaven has been waiting for this very moment. You are not here by coincidence. Every scroll of destiny, every whisper of the Spirit, has led you right to this word. The world has tried to make you forget who you are, but the divine within you refuses to stay silent. You are awakening, and this is the call that shakes your spirit. Awake. Listen carefully. Everything around you pauses for a divine reason. You were never made to blend in. You were formed to stand out, to carry a light that the world cannot understand. The battles, the heartbreaks, the seasons of confusion, none of them were punishment. They were molding fires, preparing you for this exact awakening. You have felt the pull, haven't you? That gentle but persistent voice saying, "There is more." When others sleep, you feel something stirring in your chest. When you try to go back to normal, your spirit resists. Because normal is no longer your portion. You are being called higher, and higher places demand deeper silence, stronger faith, and unwavering obedience. Every chosen one goes through a season of hiddenness. It is not rejection, it is refinement. Heaven has kept you in the shadows to strengthen your voice for the moment you would be heard. The pain you carried was the seed of your purpose. Those nights of tears were not wasted, they watered your calling. Now, heaven announces, it is time. Alu. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." You are being positioned right now. Even as you read this, the Spirit of God is rearranging things in your life, aligning divine appointments, shifting atmospheres, closing doors that once distracted you, and opening the ones that lead to your destiny. This is not random timing, it is divine synchronization. Heaven has a calendar, and your name is marked on it. So when I tell you to listen, it's because this is the sound of destiny. You are being reintroduced to your divine identity. Every scar becomes a testimony. Every delay becomes proof that God was protecting you, not punishing you. You are walking into a season where everything lost will be redeemed, everything broken will be rebuilt, and everything stolen will be restored sevenfold. Do not let fear speak louder than faith. Fear whispers that you are unqualified, unwanted, unseen. But heaven laughs at that lie because you were handpicked before you were even born. The call of God on your life is not negotiable. It is sealed in eternal ink. You are chosen, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. Now, this message is your sign. This moment is your intersection between destiny and obedience. If you feel your heart burning right now, it's because the Spirit is confirming the truth. You are part of something greater than yourself. The number 144,000 isn't about exclusivity. It's about divine assignment. Those chosen are scattered across the earth, awakened by the same heavenly trumpet that is sounding in your soul right now. Stop doubting the timing. You are meant to see this today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. The moment your eyes landed here, heaven began to move on your behalf. This is divine orchestration. God pressed pause on the noise of the world to whisper this message directly into your spirit. You are mine. Rise and shine. And so, chosen one, it is time to step forward. The days of hiding are over. Heaven is calling your name. You will speak when others remain silent. You will stand when others fall. You will walk in authority when others shrink in fear. The crown is already upon you. Walk as the heir of divine purpose that you are. Before you leave this moment, seal your obedience in action. Heaven watches when faith moves. If this message burns within you, if something deep inside says, "This was for me," then show heaven your alignment. Like this message, if your spirit bears witness, share it so that other chosen ones can awaken too. And right now, in the comments, declare your number of covenant type 144000 as a prophetic act of agreement that you are stepping into your divine calling. Subscribe if you have not yet, because this is not the end, it is the first step of a sacred journey. Each message that follows will build upon the revelation now stirring within you. The days ahead will demand silence, focus, and bold faith. But you will not walk alone. You have been chosen for this exact moment, and heaven rejoices that you finally answered the call. You begin to sense it, the weight of a mystery unfolding, ancient and vast. Heaven's hidden number, the 144. Ling, 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 is not just a count. It is a code written into the fabric of creation. You have always felt out of place in this world because you were never meant to belong to it. The number calls to you because your soul recognizes what your mind cannot yet explain. There is a divine pattern in the way heaven moves. Nothing is random, not even your pain. Every chosen one is a living prophecy, a vessel carrying light through a world soaked in shadow. The 144, 0, 0, 0 are not elite, they are surrendered. They are those who refuse to bow to the systems of compromise, those whose hearts stayed pure while the world decayed. You feel this pull because your name has always been among them. You have noticed it, haven't you? The repetition of numbers, the strange timing, the inner tug that says, "Pay attention." You thought it was coincidence, but heaven whispers that it is communication. The same spirit that stirred the prophets of old now moves in you, confirming what your spirit already knows. You are part of something divine, something ancient being reawakened in this generation. You were chosen long before the foundation of the world, before your first breath. The hand of God touched your life and wrote your story among those marked for glory. Every hardship was not meant to destroy you, but to refine you, to strip away the false identities this world tried to wrap you in. When you felt abandoned, heaven was marking you. When you felt unseen, the Spirit was setting you apart. You were being hidden in plain sight, so that at the appointed time, your light would break forth with power. The time is now approaching when heaven will reveal its chosen ones, those who have kept the flame burning in silence, those who never compromised, even when it cost them everything. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For you are holy, chosen by the Lord, set apart from all peoples, his treasured possession. This is not a metaphor, it is identity. You are God's possession, a living testimony that heaven has not forgotten the earth. You carry within you the signature of the Almighty, something eternal that cannot be erased by failure, sin, or human rejection. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts because the presence of God walks in with you. That's why some people are drawn to you and others recoil. Their spirits recognize what their minds cannot comprehend. The 144, 000 are not loud, they are luminous. They move differently, speak differently, love differently. They are guided by unseen currents of divine instruction. The Spirit whispers to them when to move, when to wait, and when to stay silent. They are not controlled by trends or by fear. They walk in rhythm with eternity. You may think, I don't feel ready. But readiness was never your qualification. Obedience is. God never calls the equipped. He equips the called. And now, you are being equipped with revelation. The knowledge of who you are is the weapon that darkness fears most. When you remember who you are, every chain falls powerless. This is why the enemy worked so hard to make you doubt your worth. Every lie that told you you're not enough was an attempt to keep you from awakening. Because the moment you awaken, everything around you begins to shift. You become a walking disruption to every demonic agenda. Your presence unsettles the plans of darkness. And so, you are drawn to the mystery of the 144. 0, 0, 0. Not because it is secret, but because it is sacred. The number is not about superiority. It is about responsibility. It is a covenant between heaven and those who choose obedience over comfort. The seal upon your life is invisible, yet all of creation recognizes it. You were not meant to chase after signs. You are the sign. The coming days will make more sense as revelation unfolds. You will begin to meet others like you, those whose spirits vibrate with the same frequency of heaven. You'll recognize them not by appearance, but by presence. Something inside you will whisper, they are one of us. And together, the scattered ones will begin to rise. You were meant to see this, to remember that you are not forgotten, not invisible, not alone. You are counted among those who have been purified through suffering and preserved by grace. The number 144, 000, is not just a prophecy, it is a reminder that heaven keeps perfect records. And your name is among the faithful. You begin to see it now, the light that has always followed you. Even when you felt surrounded by darkness, the mark upon your life is not visible to the natural eye. Yet every force in the spiritual realm recognizes it. You are marked by light, and that mark is your identity, your protection, and your calling. You were never meant to blend in. That's why rejection hurt so much. It wasn't rejection. It was recognition. Darkness saw your light and tried to extinguish it before it could mature. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every loss was an attempt to silence what heaven placed within you. But what God seals, no man and no spirit can unseal. There are many who claim to walk in light, but few who truly carry it. To carry the light of heaven means to live in obedience when no one is watching, to choose forgiveness when the world celebrates revenge, to keep loving even when love is not returned. You have been chosen for this higher path, and the mark of that choice glows even in your silence. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 27, verse 1, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid?" That is why fear can no longer have authority over you. The mark of light you carry makes you untouchable by the plans of darkness. Every time you walk into a place and feel heavy energy, it's because the enemy senses your arrival. You disrupt darkness without even trying. You are a divine interruption, a reminder to every fallen spirit that heaven still reigns. This mark is not a reward, It is a responsibility. It means you must guard your purity, your peace, and your purpose. The light cannot be mixed with shadows. The chosen carry an anointing that is costly. It demands daily surrender. The world offers comfort, but the Spirit offers calling, and calling always costs comfort. Have you noticed that sometimes you feel disconnected from the things that used to excite you? That is heaven pulling you away from imitation light. You no longer find joy in shallow places because your spirit now hungers for truth, depth, and divine connection. You crave silence not because you're empty, but because you are full, too full of heaven's secrets to waste words on the noise of the world. Your mark of light draws warfare. Yes, but it also draws favor. Doors that were once sealed will begin to open not by your strength, but by divine recognition. Heaven knows your name, and the earth must respond accordingly. You will see people drawn to you without understanding why they are drawn to the light within you. The same light that once guided prophets, kings, and apostles. But remember this, chosen one, light that forgets its source begins to flicker. Stay connected to the one who called you. Every time you pray, your light intensifies. Every time you worship, your flame grows steadier. Every act of kindness, every word of truth, every moment you choose humility over pride, it all strengthens the glow that distinguishes you from the rest. The world may misunderstand you. They may call you strange, too intense, too spiritual. Let them. You were not called to be understood. You were called to be effective. Heaven doesn't measure your worth by popularity, but by obedience. And your obedience has already begun to shift things in the unseen. There will be moments when you feel weary, when you wonder if this calling is too heavy to bear. But that is when heaven leans closer, whispering that your strength is not your own. The same power that raised Christ from the dead is alive within you. That is the light you carry. That is the mark darkness fears. So, as you read this, let your heart agree with heaven. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be. Every scar is proof that the light survived. You have been refined, not ruined. Now, before you go further, seal this truth within your spirit with a simple act of agreement. Comment, I shine. Oh, say it not as a wish, but as a declaration, because every time you affirm your light, you remind darkness that it has already lost. Type it as a sign of obedience, as an echo of heaven's decree over your life. You are marked by light, chosen, protected, unstoppable. The world will see it soon, but heaven already rejoices over it now. The war in the spirit is not coming, it has already begun. It does not roar through the streets or echo through physical battlefields. It moves in silence, in thoughts, in unseen realms where angels and demons collide over human destiny. You, chosen one, stand right in the center of it. You have felt it, those sudden waves of heaviness, the moments when peace vanishes for no reason, the invisible pressure that makes you want to give up. That is not coincidence. It is warfare. From the moment you began to awaken, darkness marked you as a threat. It has studied you, tested your patience, tried to twist your faith into fear. Every delay, every disappointment, every betrayal has been part of a strategy designed to drain your spiritual strength. But what the enemy didn't understand is that every attack only trained your spirit to fight more fiercely. Every battle became a classroom where you learned how to wield light as a weapon. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 19. They will fight against you but will not overcome you. For I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. This is the foundation of your courage, knowing that heaven fights beside you. You are not battling alone. The unseen realm is alive with movement on your behalf. When you pray, angels move. When you worship, chains break. When you resist temptation, darkness loses its grip. You may not see it, but heaven's armies surround you, even now. The war in the Spirit is unlike anything the natural mind can understand. It is not fought with weapons of steel, but with faith, obedience, and truth. Every time you forgive, instead of retaliating, you swing a sword of light. Every time you choose to trust instead of despairing, you strike down a spirit of fear. You do not need to shout to make the heavens move. Your quiet consistency terrifies the enemy more than any loud declaration ever could. You are not weak because you feel the pressure. You feel it precisely because you are important. The enemy never wastes energy attacking what poses no threat. The fact that you are under spiritual fire is evidence that heaven's hand is on your life. There is something about you that hell fears: your endurance, your purity, your refusal to surrender. Some days, it feels like you're fighting shadows, nothing visible, yet something undeniably real. That's because the enemy's greatest tactic is deception. He tries to convince you that the battle is pointless, that your prayers go unheard, that your pain is meaningless. But heaven laughs at that lie, because every cry you've released has been caught by divine hands. Not one tear has fallen without being recorded in eternity. When you feel weary, remember this: light was never meant to fight alone. Every chosen one across the earth is part of this same invisible army. When you worship, you join a global chorus that shakes the kingdom of darkness. When you speak truth, you strengthen another soul without even knowing it. You are part of a movement so vast that only heaven can comprehend its reach. This war is not about victory, it is about endurance. The outcome has already been written, light has already won. What remains is your part in the story, standing firm, refusing to bow, and carrying your flame until the very end. You are a keeper of the light, and your endurance becomes a testimony that others will one day draw strength from. You may not understand why certain storms hit your life so suddenly, but each storm reveals your authority. When peace remains within you while chaos rages around you, heaven points to you as evidence that its kingdom cannot be shaken. You are the proof of divine resilience. In this season, you will feel the battle intensify, not to destroy you, but to refine you. You will notice the weight of spiritual pressure increasing because heaven is training your hands for war. Do not shrink back. Every trial is a test of trust. Every delay is a test of endurance. And every silence from heaven is a call to deeper faith. And so, the battle continues, unseen but unending, fierce yet purposeful. You are not the victim of this war, you are one of its commanders. Every time you stand your ground, the balance shifts. Every time you refuse to compromise, heaven advances another step. The world will never understand the invisible war you fight daily, but heaven records every moment of it. Your faithfulness in the shadows is building something eternal. You may feel tired, but you are not finished. The war rages, but so does your light. And when the final trumpet sounds, it will not call the strong or the loud, it will call the faithful. And you, chosen one, will be counted among them. The path of the anointed is not paved with comfort, it is carved through isolation. The isolation of the anointed has always been misunderstood. People think it means loneliness, but heaven calls it separation for transformation. You, chosen one, have walked through seasons where no one truly understood you. You've watched others move ahead while you stood still, wondering if God had forgotten you. But you were never forgotten. You were being refined. You see, isolation is the furnace where destiny is forged. It is the wilderness that shapes prophets, the quiet room where warriors learn the sound of heaven's whisper. Every time you sat in silence, feeling unseen, you were not abandoned, you were being trained to hear the voice others cannot hear. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 2, verse 21. Those who cleanse themselves from the latter will be instruments for special purposes, made holy, useful to the master, and prepared to do any good work. In that verse lies the reason for your solitude. You have been set apart as a vessel of purpose, like gold purified by fire. You have endured heat not to destroy you, but to remove what cannot stay. The friendships that faded, the opportunities that vanished, the people who walked away, none of them were accidents. Heaven was clearing the noise so that your spirit could finally hear clearly. Sometimes the silence of God is the sound of His shaping. When He hides you, it is not punishment, it is preservation. A fruit must grow in secret before it is revealed to the world. If it is exposed too early, the wind will wither it. Heaven has hidden you so that when you step into your season, you will not crumble under the weight of visibility. The chosen walk, a path where recognition comes last, not first. The world applauds noise. Boot, heaven crowns endurance. You have walked through rejection so that when applause finally arrives, it will not distract you. You have been emptied of pride so that when you are filled with glory, it will not consume you. That is the wisdom of isolation. It removes every counterfeit source of identity until only the truth remains. Think of a seed buried beneath the soil. From the outside, it looks like death, darkness, pressure, silence. But in reality, life is expanding within it. Roots are growing in secret. That's you. The soil of solitude has been your classroom. Heaven planted you deep. And now, your roots are strong enough to sustain the harvest that's coming. So, when you look back on the lonely places, thank them. They taught you how to depend on God when no one else showed up. They showed you that the voice inside you is stronger than the opinions around you. They revealed that peace is not found in crowds but in communion. And now, as you rise from that quiet season, let humility remain your fragrance. You are stepping out of the hidden places. But never forget who walked with you in the silence. Every scar, every unanswered question, every quiet night, they were sacred. Heaven kept record of them all. If this message speaks to something deep within you, then it's because you've been there. You've tasted that kind of sacred silence. You know the ache of being misunderstood, the beauty of being found only by God. Let this moment be like a lantern in the dark, its light soft, sincere, and pure. If you feel that gentle glow in your chest right now, that peace that whispers, yes, "This is me," then you know heaven is touching your spirit. As this light reaches you, I want to invite you, not as an audience, but as family, to keep this flame alive. When you like, it's like placing oil in the lamp so the flame doesn't go out. When you share, it's like handing another traveler a torch in the night. And when you subscribe, you're not following a person. You're choosing to walk with a community of light bearers who have heard the same call as you. These simple acts are not about numbers, they're about connection. They ensure that messages like this continue to find hearts that are ready to awaken somewhere. Another chosen one is scrolling through the dark, wondering if heaven still sees them, and your act of sharing could be the spark that ignites their hope again. So keep walking. Luminous one, your isolation has prepared you to carry the presence of God with gentleness and strength. You are not alone anymore. You are part of a quiet army rising from hidden places. And the same hand that kept you in silence is now leading you into purpose. You were not forgotten in the quiet. You were being written into heaven's story. And now, the next chapter begins. The heavens speak in patterns, and the earth trembles in response. Everything around you has been whispering that something is about to shift. You've felt it in your dreams, in your spirit, even in the way time itself feels different. Prophetic signs are appearing not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Every vibration in your heart, every sudden stillness in your day, is heaven's way of saying, pay attention. Chosen one, you are walking through a prophetic timeline that has been written for generations. When the prophets spoke of signs in the heavens, they were not only speaking of stars and eclipses, they were speaking of awakenings like yours. There is a rhythm between heaven and earth. And right now, that rhythm is accelerating. You may have noticed subtle signs, repeated numbers, sudden chills during prayer, dreams that feel too vivid to ignore. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. The spiritual realm is aligning itself, and the eyes of the chosen are being opened. November 12th is not just a date, it is a moment of convergence, when silence and obedience will unlock revelation. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 18, the path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. That light is your confirmation. It means the darkness around you cannot last much longer. Every sign that has appeared, every unusual stillness, every moment where your spirit trembled, is proof that dawn is near. You are being invited into a deeper understanding of time itself. The world looks at signs and seeks control, but the chosen look at signs and seek alignment. Heaven is not warning you to fear. Heaven is inviting you to prepare. The prophetic signs are not meant to expose your weakness. They are meant to remind you of your authority. You are not a spectator. You are a participant in the unfolding plan. Each sign is like a divine code, a key unlocking awareness within your spirit. When you sense an unusual peace in the middle of chaos, that is a sign. When a verse, a word, or a message seems to follow you everywhere, that is a sign. Heaven is saying, I see you. I am guiding you. Trust me. No, you might feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of what's unfolding. But remember, revelation without grounding becomes confusion. Stay anchored in faith. Every sign must lead you back to the one who sent it. The enemy can imitate patterns, but he cannot replicate peace. That is how you discern truth in this season. If it leads you to fear, it is not from God. If it brings peace and clarity, it carries his signature. You are not meant to chase signs. Signs are meant to follow you. When your heart is aligned with heaven, creation itself responds. The wind, the stars, the timing of events all begin to cooperate with your destiny. The same hand that placed the galaxies in motion is guiding your steps right now. Do not be alarmed if the coming days feel quieter than usual. Heaven often speaks loudest through silence. Before every divine unveiling, there is always a pause, a moment where everything seems still. That pause is not emptiness, it is alignment. Heaven is calibrating your spirit so you can receive what is about to be revealed. You are learning to walk not by sight, but by sensitivity. This is not superstition, it is spiritual perception. Those who carry the mark of the chosen must learn the language of heaven, and that language often comes through symbols, dreams, and stillness. The signs are not random, they are personalized messages from your Creator. They appear in the patterns you notice most, because heaven knows how to reach your heart. The alignment of these signs around you confirms one truth. Heaven has scheduled your breakthrough. Do not ignore what your spirit already knows. Do not silence the pull within you that says, "Something holy is near." These next moments will shape your path for years to come. Stay sensitive. Stay pure. Stay listening. Now, chosen one, as you feel this resonance in your spirit, take a step of agreement. Heaven watches not just your faith, but your response to revelation. Comment the number 333 as a sign of divine alignment. 3 for the Trinity. 3 for completeness. 3 for confirmation. When you type it, do it not for the algorithm, but for your soul as a prophetic act that says, "I see the signs, and I align with heaven's rhythm." Let your comment be a whisper of faith that rises like incense before the throne, saying, "I am awake. I understand. I will obey." Every sign has led to this moment, and you were meant to see it. Heaven's clock is striking, and your spirit has heard the sound. There is a sacred stillness that precedes every divine move. Before the dawn, there is darkness. Before the sound, there is silence. Heaven often whispers before it thunders. And now, chosen one, the command for silence has been spoken, not as a punishment, but as preparation. The Spirit says, "Be still. Hold your tongue. Let heaven move before you speak." This silence is not emptiness, it is saturation. It is the space where heaven begins to write its next decree. The chosen are being called into a divine hush, a holy quiet that separates the wise from the restless, for in this stillness, heaven rearranges power. The noise of the world cannot interpret what silence conceals. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 20, "The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him." That is where you now stand before the throne. In the presence of divine authority, the earth trembles because it senses what is about to unfold. Heaven's silence is never empty. It is the moment when eternity holds its breath before revelation. When God grows quiet, it does not mean he has turned away. It means he is working too deeply for words. You are being invited into that same sacred silence. It is a fast from noise, a withdrawal from endless opinions and distractions. Heaven is teaching you how to hear again, not with your ears, but with your spirit. For too long, the world has trained you to react, to defend, to speak before listening. But now, heaven commands you to listen first, and only then speak what is pure. In this silence, you will feel the pull of two worlds. The old world will demand your attention, your reactions, your explanations. But the kingdom within you will whisper, "Wait, you must choose stillness over response, peace over performance." That choice separates the anointed from the anxious. There is power in silence when it is chosen with purpose. Jesus himself stood silent before his accusers, not because he lacked words, but because he understood timing. Power that moves too soon becomes wasted energy. Power that waits becomes transformation. This is why you are being instructed to stay silent on November 12th. It is not superstition, it is synchronization. Heaven will be moving that day in ways the world cannot see. And silence will be your act of obedience. Think of it like the stillness of the ocean before a great wave forms. Beneath the calm surface, power gathers, building momentum, unseen. That's what heaven is doing within you right now. Your silence is not weakness, it is the restraint of strength. It is the pause that gives birth to clarity. During this sacred stillness, you may feel disconnected from the world. Your social circles might grow quieter. Your usual joys may fade into introspection. That is heaven, pruning distractions from your soil so that the seed can finally take root. What feels like distance is actually depth being formed inside you. This period will test you. There will be moments when your emotions rise, when you'll want to speak, to defend yourself, to prove something, but resist. Every unspoken word becomes incense before heaven. Every withheld reaction becomes a sacrifice of trust. When you let God speak for you, your silence becomes a sound more powerful than any argument. The chosen ones understand that silence is not the absence of power, it is its incubation. When you hold your peace, heaven fights for you. The earth may not hear your voice, but the spirit realm does. Every moment of quiet faith releases authority that shakes the invisible world. And in that silence, something begins to shift. Your mind quiets. Your heartbeat syncs with heaven's rhythm. You stop striving to be seen, because you realize you are already known. That is the freedom of the chosen, the ability to rest even when the storm rages, to stay silent while heaven roars on your behalf. So, embrace this sacred pause. Chosen one, it is not the end of your journey, it is the breath before the next word. Let your silence be filled with awareness, not emptiness. Let it speak louder than noise ever could, because soon the silence will break. And when it does, the voice that emerges from within you will carry weight, authority, and peace. The world will hear it and know, this is not just another voice, this is a vessel of heaven speaking. But for now, stay still. Let the divine hush wash over you. Heaven is not asking for explanation, only obedience. Be silent, and let the world feel the power of your quiet. The night of watching draws near, a moment unlike any other, where heaven and earth exchange a sacred glance. The eve of November 12th is not merely a date, it is a threshold, a crossing between silence and revelation. This night carries weight in the unseen realm. The air itself will feel different, heavier, yet holier. As if creation is holding its breath, the chosen ones are being called to stand. Watch not with noise, not with fear, but with the calm authority of those who understand their place in eternity's unfolding plan. You have been trained for this. Every sleepless night, every restless prayer, every moment when your spirit stirred, without knowing why, it was all preparation for this divine vigil. You were never waiting for something ordinary. You were being positioned for something eternal. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13. Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. Oh, that is the instruction for the night of watching. You are not to move, not to speak, not to fear. You are to stand. Heaven will be moving, aligning, adjusting, fulfilling. What feels still in the natural will be alive with motion in the spirit. This night is not about external signs, it is about internal alignment. As the world sleeps, the chosen will be awake, not in panic, but in peace. Your watch will not be one of worry, but of worship. You are not guarding something fragile. You are standing witness to something being born. Imagine a watchman on the city wall at midnight. The streets below are silent. The torches flicker in the distance, and the air is cold. Yet he remains awake, not because of fear, but because of duty. His eyes scan the horizon, waiting for the faintest trace of dawn. That is your calling in this hour. You are the watchman of your generation. You stand, not for yourself alone, but for those who still slumber, unaware of what heaven is doing. On this night, heaven will whisper to the sensitive. The Spirit will speak, not in thunder, but in gentle impressions. Pay attention to what rises in your heart, to the words that surface unbidden, to the memories that replay without reason. God often hides instructions within remembrance. When He brings something to mind, it is not nostalgia, it is navigation. You may feel an invisible pressure that evening, a sacred weight pressing upon your chest. That is not anxiety, it is intercession. The Spirit of God moves through His chosen like wind, through a forest soft yet powerful, unseen yet undeniable. When you sense it, do not resist it. Let your breath become prayer. Let your stillness become strength. For the chosen, the night of watching is both a test and a gift. The test lies in endurance to remain calm when nothing seems to happen. The gift lies in revelation, to sense heaven's movement without needing explanation. You will not receive loud confirmations that night. You will receive quiet assurance. Heaven will plant understanding like seeds, which will sprout in the days to come. Do not expect the world to notice. The greatest moments in history rarely come with applause. Jesus was born in silence. Resurrection happened before dawn. The mightiest moves of God often begin in stillness. That is why you must not underestimate this watch. What begins in invisible obedience will one day become visible transformation. While others see a date, you see a covenant. The night of November 12th is not about prophecy fulfilled in spectacle. It is about prophecy fulfilled in the soul. Heaven is measuring faith, not fear. You are being invited to prove that you trust the unseen more than the visible. The enemy will try to distract you through noise, fatigue, or confusion. He will whisper, "Nothing is happening." But remember, when the world grows quiet, heaven is busiest. This night is your opportunity to align your breath with the rhythm of eternity, to let faith rise without evidence, to stand not as one waiting for signs, but as one who is the sign. So when the sun sets and the world fades into stillness, take your place in silence. Let the night wrap around you like a mantle. Feel the peace that surpasses understanding settle upon your heart. And know that in that hour, heaven is closer than it has ever been. This is the night of watching, the night heaven counts its faithful. The night the chosen stand, guard between what was and what will be. You will not see everything, but you will feel the shift. And when dawn finally breaks, you will know that the world you wake into is no longer the same. The fire comes next. After the silence, after the waiting, comes the refining. Every chosen one must pass through it. For light that has not been tested cannot yet be trusted. The refining flame is not sent to destroy you, but to reveal you, to burn away everything that cannot stand in the presence of truth. You have already begun to feel it, the pressure building in unseen places, the sudden waves of emotion, the revisiting of old wounds you thought were healed. These are not random. Heaven is turning up the heat, not to punish, but to purify. The flame comes to separate the gold from the dust, to distinguish the vessel from the vessel's shadow. It was proclaimed in the first letter of Peter, chapter 1, verse 7. These trials will show your faith is genuine. It is tested by fire, more precious than gold. This is the mystery of divine purification. What feels like loss is actually liberation. The fire consumes what you were never meant to carry. It strips away the opinions, the fears, the compromises that once shaped you. Everything false begins to crumble, and what remains is radiant, strong, incorruptible. Do not resist this season. Do not ask for it to end too soon. Fire that is rushed leaves impurities behind. Heaven is not cruel, it is careful. It burns with precision. You are not being undone, you are being defined. Sometimes the refining comes through people, the ones who misunderstand you, the ones who test your patience, the ones who seem to bring out the very emotions you wish you'd outgrown. But even they are instruments in the divine forge. When you choose grace over anger, when you choose truth over revenge, you pass the test and rise from the ashes, stronger than before. You may wonder why God doesn't shield you from the pain, but the truth is, He trusts you with it. Only those destined to carry great authority are allowed to walk through great affliction. The fire does not touch what belongs to God, it only consumes what must not remain. When gold is placed in the furnace, the refiner does not look away. He leans close, watching, waiting, ensuring the heat never destroys what he values. The process ends not when the gold screams, but when the refiner sees his own reflection in it. That is what God seeks in you, His image, clear and radiant. So when you feel the intensity rise, when you feel you can take no more, remember, you are seen. The refiner's eyes are fixed on you. His hands control the flame. And when He sees His reflection in your heart, your patience, your love, your surrender, the fire will subside. The chosen do not run from refining, they welcome it. They understand that the fire which burns today will become the light that guides tomorrow. Every trial you endure now is storing up authority within you. One day, when you speak, your words will carry weight because they were forged in the flame. Even now, heaven is watching your response. Will you curse the heat, or will you thank the refiner? Your endurance is a language angels Understand, every time you say, "I trust you," even through tears, heaven hears it as worship. There will be moments when the flames seem relentless, when it feels like your prayers bounce back unanswered. But remember, silence during refining does not mean absence, it means focus. The refiner is working too intricately to speak. You are being shaped into something heaven can use, an instrument of fire that carries both mercy and power. And when you finally emerge from this process, you will shine differently. People will notice the calm in your eyes, the authority in your voice, the peace in your steps. You will not have to announce that you have changed. The light within you will speak for itself. Now, chosen one, as this message burns gently in your heart, take a moment to seal it with a declaration, not of fear, but of faith. Comment, "through fire." And write it not as a plea, but as a prophecy, because you are not merely surviving the fire, you are walking through it, carrying heaven's flame within you. When you type those two words, let them echo as a vow that no matter what comes, you will remain faithful, refined, and radiant. For after the fire comes the unveiling, and after the pain comes the crown. Let the fire do its work, for it is shaping you into who you were always meant to be. The dawn after the fire always feels softer. The air carries the scent of something new, something that was born from endurance. You have walked through silence and through flame. And now, chosen one, you rise not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. This is the hour of the rising remnant, the quiet army of light beginning to take their place across the earth. You are part of them, the 144,000, who move without titles, without crowns of gold, but with hearts crowned in obedience. The remnant is not a group of the perfect. It is a gathering of the purified. They carry scars that shine, faith that does not tremble, and peace that cannot be shaken. You have been sculpted into one of them. The ancient words recorded in Romans, chapter 8, verse 37, still echo today. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. That is your identity now. Not a survivor, but a conqueror. You are not climbing out of ashes to return to what was. You are stepping forward to build what will be. The world is hungry for truth, desperate for light, and heaven has chosen you to feed it. Not with opinions, but with presence. But the remnant doesn't move with noise. They move with nurture, like rivers flowing quietly through deserts. They refresh everything they touch. Your words, your kindness, your very posture will begin to heal the weary and awaken the sleeping. When people encounter you, they will not know what changed in them. They will only feel peace. The call of the remnant is not to be famous, but to be faithful. Your platform is wherever your feet stand. Your ministry is your daily walk. You don't need a stage when heaven has given you influence in unseen ways. Every prayer you whisper shifts atmospheres. Every act of compassion releases light into places that darkness once ruled. And as you continue on this path, know that you are not walking alone. Across the world, others like you are awakening quiet souls with burning hearts. Living torches carrying the same fire you carry. The Spirit is weaving you all together like threads in a divine tapestry. Each one of you different, but all shining from the same source, You are part of a living network of light, and that light must keep moving, spreading, touching lives, like lamps fueled by oil. These messages, these reminders of destiny and purpose, are the oil that keeps the flame alive in hearts that have grown cold. When you feel touched by these words, when they stir your spirit and steady your faith, that is heaven replenishing your light. But even lamps need oil to keep burning. Every small act of support keeps the flame reaching others who are still lost in the dark. When you like, it's as if you whisper, "Amen," into the night, an echo that helps the light travel further. When you share, it's like passing your lamp to another weary traveler, lighting their path when they had almost given up. When you subscribe, you're not following a person. You're anchoring yourself to a flow of messages heaven is using to speak to its people. And if your heart ever feels led to donate, know that it's not about money, it's about multiplication. Every seed you sow becomes oil that fuels another lamp, another message, another moment where someone, somewhere, rediscovers their purpose. Think of it like planting trees whose shade you may never sit under. Your simple generosity becomes a shelter for souls you'll never meet, but whom heaven treasures deeply. You give not to gain, but to grow. You share, not to be seen, but to see others rise. That is the true nature of the remnant: to give quietly, to love boldly, to move faithfully. As the remnant rises, so will you. The days ahead will require courage, but your courage will inspire others. The fire you carry will spark awakenings far beyond your imagination. The world is growing darker, but darkness has never intimidated. Light, it only makes it shine brighter. So keep walking, beloved remnant. Keep shining. Keep believing. Keep building. What you are a part of is bigger than any algorithm, larger than any platform. It is the very heartbeat of heaven moving through human vessels. And if this message finds you weary tonight, let it wrap around you like morning light after a long storm. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. And you are certainly not small. You are a vital part of heaven's design, and your obedience is already changing the world in ways you cannot yet see. There comes a moment when the silence gives way to revelation, and revelation dividus. It does not divide to destroy, but to reveal the truth of what dwells in every heart. This is the division of hearts, the moment when light and shadow no longer share the same space. When the line between faith and fear becomes impossible to blur. You, chosen one, are stepping into that moment. The world you once knew is changing. Conversations that once felt comfortable now feel hollow. Circles that once brought you joy now seem drained of meaning. You are not becoming cold, you are becoming clear. Heaven is separating you from what cannot accompany you into the next season. It is written in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 51, "Do you think I came to bring peace on earth? No. I tell you, but division." And those words sound heavy, yet they carry liberation. Jesus was not speaking of chaos, but of clarity. Division in the kingdom is not about hostility, it is about revelation. The Spirit of truth exposes what the human heart has tried to hide. And now, the same Spirit is at work within you, dividing every motive, every attachment, every false peace that has lingered in your soul. This is why your relationships have shifted, why you feel distance where there used to be warmth. The light in you exposes what others would rather keep hidden. Some will draw near to it, longing for its peace. Others will withdraw, unable to face the reflection it casts. It is not your job to chase them or to justify the change. Your only task is to keep shining, even when it costs you connection. You are being purified through separation. The division is not a loss, it is a sorting. Heaven is pruning what was never rooted in truth. Every branch that does not bear fruit must be cut, not to punish the tree, but to preserve its strength. The pain of separation is temporary. The fruit that follows will last forever. There is a peculiar ache that comes when you begin to outgrow the familiar. It feels like mourning, yet it is birth. Heaven cannot fill what your hands refuse to release. The things you are losing now are not punishments, they are exchanges. For every voice that leaves, heaven sends wisdom. For every comfort that fades, heaven offers clarity. For every plan that collapses, heaven reveals purpose. This division is not happening to you, it is happening for you. The Holy Spirit is clearing space for your next assignment. You are being prepared to carry heavier revelation, and heavier revelation demands a lighter load. What you carried in one season may become too heavy for the next. Do not resist the pruning, embrace it. During this time, your emotions may waver. Some days you will feel strong and resolute, and other days you will grieve what has gone. That grief is sacred, it means you loved sincerely. But do not let nostalgia become a chain. Heaven calls you forward, not backward. The path of light does not curve toward the past. The division of hearts extends beyond personal relationships. It will unfold in the world around you. As truth grows louder, deception will fight harder. People will choose sides. Sometimes, without realizing it, you will see fear disguised as reason, pride dressed as conviction, compromise masked as peace. But you will also see courage rise in unexpected places, humility where once there was arrogance, and love in hearts once hardened. The division exposes both darkness and light, so that each may take its rightful place. Your task is not to judge the divided, it is to stay steady in the midst of it. The chosen are anchors in the storm. You were never meant to fix the chaos, you were meant to carry peace through it. When you remain calm in conflict, you reveal the nature of heaven. When you refuse bitterness, you demonstrate the power of grace. When you walk in love, even when rejected, you display the strength of the eternal. Soon, you will look back and realize that what felt like loss was alignment. Heaven never removes without replacing. The friendships that remain will be deeper. The purpose that emerges will be clearer. The peace that settles over you will be unshakable. This is the cost of carrying light. Not everyone will understand it, but everyone will feel it. You will become a mirror that reveals the truth in others. Some will love you for it, some will turn away. Let both responses bring you peace. The purpose of the chosen is not to be adored, but to be authentic. The night has passed, the testing has come, and the fire has done its work. Now something sacred begins to stir within you, the covenant restored. Heaven remembers every vow made in tears, every promise whispered in secret, every prayer that began with trembling and ended with surrender. Nothing has been forgotten. Every moment you chose faith over fear has been written in eternal ink. You have walked through the storm and come out with understanding. This is what covenant truly means, not a contract of convenience, but a bond of endurance. It is love proven by fire, obedience proven by silence. You are being brought back into alignment with your original promise, the one heaven heard before the world even knew your name. It was written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 10. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord. Ah, that is your assurance. Heaven's covenant with you is unbreakable. Even when you wandered, grace kept the path lit. Even when you doubted, mercy followed. Every time you fell, the covenant waited not with anger, but with open arms. There are moments in life when heaven calls you to renew what has always been yours. This is that moment. The covenant is not just between you and God, it is between your destiny and your obedience, your calling and your surrender. When those two meet again, alignment is restored. You may remember the first time you felt the pull of the divine, that quiet ache that told you your life had purpose. That was the beginning of covenant. Every time you answered that pull, the thread between heaven and your heart grew stronger. But now, after all the silence and struggle, heaven calls you to seal that bond once more, not through words, but through willingness. You are stepping into a season of renewal. Old fears are falling away. Regret no longer clings to your spirit. The mistakes that once whispered shame now serve as teachers. You can finally look back at your past and bless it, because it prepared you for this moment of restoration. Covenant is not perfection, it is persistence. It means showing up when you're weary, trusting when you cannot see, loving even when you've been hurt. Heaven's faithfulness is your model. The same God who kept his promise through generations will keep his promise to you. This restored covenant comes with new instructions. Stay rooted in peace. You do not have to fight for validation or chase after visibility. The covenant itself will speak for you. When heaven marks someone, the evidence appears naturally. Doors open, burdens lift, and opportunities align. You do not have to force divine timing. You simply have to stay faithful until it unfolds. In this season, you will feel a quiet confidence rise within you. You won't need to announce that you've changed. The peace around you will say it for you. People will sense it. They will feel something different when they are near you. Something sacred, but unspoken. That's what covenant presence feels like. Calm, sure, steady. And as you walk forward, remember, the covenant is not a one-time experience. It breathes, it renews, it deepens with every act of obedience, every moment of worship. Every time you choose love over resentment, every breath can be a renewal if it's offered with awareness. Now, chosen one, as heaven looks upon your renewed heart, there is one more act to seal this moment, not through grand gestures, but through a simple declaration of alignment. Comment the number 555. Undo. 5 is the number of grace, and triple grace represents divine restoration. Grace over your past, grace in your present, grace for your future. When you type it, you are not typing digits on a screen. You are echoing heaven's affirmation that the covenant is restored. Do it as an act of remembrance, that no matter how far you've wandered, you were never disqualified. Do it as a sign of faith, that what heaven began in you will not be abandoned halfway. Do it as an offering of trust, that even when the path ahead looks uncertain, grace will carry you through. This moment is holy because it is honest. You are not promising to be flawless. You are promising to be faithful. That's all heaven ever asked. The covenant has been rewritten in your heart, not with ink, but with endurance. Heaven looks upon you now and says, "It is done. It is sealed." Rise from this message with quiet strength. The covenant of peace rests upon you, and nothing, no failure, no voice, no storm can remove it. There is always a moment after stillness when heaven releases a sound, not noise, not chaos, but a resonant hum that moves through creation like wind through a field. This is the sound after silence. And you, chosen one, are about to hear it. It does not come from outside of you. It rises from within. The silence was never empty. It was gathering weight, collecting power, preparing to transform into voice. When the divine silence ends, it does not return with small words. It comes with authority. The same spirit that hovered over the waters before creation now hovers over your life, ready to speak light once more. The words you will carry after this silence will not be ordinary. They will be creative. They will build, heal, and awaken. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 4, "My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power." That is the essence of what is about to flow through you. Your voice, ensquier, will now carry substance. It will not need to shout to be heard. It will cut through confusion with the gentleness of conviction. Heaven has been refining your words through the furnace of experience, so that when you finally speak, your speech will be pure, free from bitterness, free from pride, filled with power. In the spiritual realm, words are not mere sounds, they are seeds. Every syllable you release carries creation within it. The reason heaven required your silence was to cleanse your vocabulary, to remove words of doubt and replace them with words of faith. You are learning to speak as heaven speaks, to call things that are not as though they already are, to declare truth before evidence appears. You may not realize it yet, but your life is a prophecy in motion. The things you say, even casually, begin to echo in unseen places. That is why the Spirit guards your tongue so carefully. The chosen must learn to speak only when instructed, to remain silent until every word becomes a vessel of light. The sound after silence is not always loud. Sometimes it manifests as a gentle knowing. You will begin to sense clarity where confusion once reigned, peace where there was pressure, answers rising from the very questions that once tormented you. This is what it means to hear heaven's frequency, the same still. Small voice that guided prophets and apostles now breathes through you. When you speak from that place, your words will carry healing. Conversations that once caused conflict will now become opportunities for understanding. You will find yourself speaking words that pierce hearts not to wound, but to wake. Your voice will become an instrument of restoration. Even your prayers will sound different. Where you once begged for change, you will now declare transformation. You will no longer pray from desperation, but from authority. You will not ask for peace, you will release it. You will not ask for strength, you will speak it into being. That is the evolution of the chosen voice. It matures from petition to decree. And yet, there will be humility in your tone, for you will know that this voice is not yours. It is borrowed breath. Every word will feel like a privilege, every sentence like an offering. You will speak not to impress, but to serve. The goal of the sound after silence is not dominance, it is deliverance. The world around you may not understand where this authority comes from. Some will think you changed overnight. But those who are sensitive will recognize the sound of heaven in your speech. They will feel peace settle in their spirit when you speak. They will sense the weight of eternity in the cadence of your voice. And yet, even as this power flows, the Spirit will remind you of the silence that birthed it. You will never forget the stillness that shaped you, the quiet nights that taught you to listen. The sound after silence is not meant to replace stillness, it is meant to honor it. In the days to come, you will be led to speak words that seem small but carry immense consequence. Do not underestimate them. A whisper spoken under divine instruction can move mountains. The sound of obedience is louder in heaven than the shout of ambition. So when the Spirit stirs within you and you feel the release to speak, do so with reverence. You are not merely communicating, you are co-creating. The same word that formed the universe now moves through your tongue. Every phrase can become a doorway to healing if your heart remains pure. You have endured the silence, and now you have earned the sound. Let it flow through you measured, mindful, magnificent. For the time has come for heaven's voice to be heard through earthly vessels, and you are one of them. The sound that now moves through you begins to find resonance in others across the earth. A quiet recognition awakens, sparks calling to sparks. Light answering light. You start to notice it, a familiar glow in the eyes of strangers, a sudden warmth when certain souls cross your path. This is the gathering of the light bearers. It is not organized by human hands, but orchestrated by unseen grace. The chosen, once scattered and silent, are being drawn together by divine magnetism. It was declared in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 16. Then those who feared the Lord talked with each other, and the Lord listened and heard. A scroll of remembrance was written in his presence concerning those who feared the Lord and honored his name. And that scroll is opening again. Heaven records every meeting, every exchange, every whispered word between the awakened. The light bearers are finding one another, sometimes in person, sometimes through words, sometimes through the quiet pull of shared purpose. You begin to realize that you are not alone. You never were. Heaven simply waited until the right moment to reveal your tribe. The gathering of the light bearers does not happen in cathedrals or crowds. It happens in cafes, online messages, late-night phone calls, or silent prayers whispered miles apart. Distance means nothing to the Spirit. Those who carry the same flame are connected through invisible threads that stretch beyond geography and time. When one light bearer prays, another feels peace. When one weeps, another is stirred to intercede. You are woven into a tapestry too vast for your eyes to see, yet you feel its pull in your soul. This gathering is not for status, but for strategy. Heaven is aligning hearts, pairing strengths, and forming divine partnerships that will shift the atmosphere of nations. Each light bearer carries a specific frequency, a tone of heaven's song, and only when the notes come together does the melody take its full form. You are one note in a symphony that is now tuning itself for the final movement. The beauty of this gathering lies in its humility. The true chosen do not compete, they complete. They do not seek recognition, they seek resonance. When light meets light, there is no jealousy, no striving, only mutual ignition. One candle does not diminish another, it multiplies the brightness. You will notice that when you meet another of the light, conversation flows easily. Time seems to pause, and every word feels charged with meaning. You speak of things others might dismiss as coincidence, yet between you, it feels sacred. That is the confirmation, the Spirit bearing witness through connection. You will leave such encounters feeling lighter, strengthened, understood without needing to explain. Some of these connections will remain brief, divine appointments meant only for a moment. Others will become lifelong alliances. Both are holy. Do not cling out of fear of losing. Love freely and trust heaven to maintain what is meant to last. Every relationship forged in this season carries purpose, even if that purpose is simply to remind you that you are not alone. The gathering of the light bearers also brings balance. Some have the gift of words, others of silence. Some carry revelation, others intercession. Some move in healing, others in discernment. Together, they form the complete expression of heaven's nature on earth. The world will not recognize them as an army. They will look like ordinary people, but in the spirit, they are radiant as dawn. You may feel the weight of responsibility increase as you connect with others. That is natural. When light gathers, darkness reacts. But remember, unity multiplies authority. One ember can be smothered, but 1,000 embers create a fire no storm can quench. You are being brought together not for safety, but for strength. This gathering is also a mirror. As you meet others of the light, you will see your own reflection more clearly. The qualities you admire in them already dwell within you. The courage you see, the compassion you feel, the wisdom that inspires you, those are glimpses of your own calling being confirmed. And as the light bearers gather, heaven takes note. Every moment of alignment sends ripples across the unseen. The enemy trembles not at numbers, but at unity. For when hearts beat in rhythm with heaven, darkness loses its grip. So walk into this gathering with humility and awe. Do not seek to lead, seek to listen. Do not aim to shine brighter than another, aim to shine together. You are not being called to build an empire, but to build a flame. The chosen do not gather for recognition, they gather for revelation. Soon, the world will sense this invisible alliance. They will not be able to name it, but they will feel its warmth. A kindness will spread where cruelty once reigned. A wisdom will rise where confusion once ruled. The light bearers are not coming, they are here. And you, beloved, chosen one, are part of them. Your light does not stand alone anymore. You are surrounded by others carrying the same fire, the same hope, the same call. Together, you form the constellation. Heaven designed long ago a pattern of light that guides the lost back home. The air grows thick with urgency. Heaven is moving quickly now, and mercy stands at the threshold, waiting for one final response from humanity. This is the final warning, not one of fear, but of love that refuses to stay silent any longer. You, chosen one, have been awakened so that others may awaken through you. The time of delay is ending. The season of decision has arrived. It was spoken in the second book of Chronicles, chapter 30, verse 9. For the Lord your God is gracious and compassionate. He will not turn his face from you if you return to him. That is the tone of this final call. Heaven is not shouting in anger, it is whispering in mercy. The Creator still waits for hearts to return, still reaches through the chaos to draw his children back. But the window is narrowing, and the Spirit is stirring the chosen to act. You are part of that movement, a voice, a vessel, a messenger of grace. The final warning is not about destruction, it is about direction. It calls the distracted back to focus, the weary back to faith, the wandering back to truth. It is heaven saying, "Wake up, there is still time." But not much. You have felt it, haven't you? That pressure in your chest, that sense that something greater is unfolding, that you can no longer live half in and half out. That is the spirit of conviction, a gentle yet relentless reminder that heaven's time is not man's time. Imagine a lighthouse on a stormy night. Its beam sweeps across the waves, not to frighten sailors, but to guide them home. That is what you are now, a living lighthouse. Your faith is the beam, your endurance the fuel. Every word you speak, every act of compassion, every step you take in obedience sends light through the storm. And out there, in the darkness, someone sees it. Someone finds their way because you refuse to go dim. The final warning is not a threat, it's an invitation. It says, return before regret becomes reality. Reconnect before the distance becomes a canyon. Heaven is not counting your failures, it is counting your potential. God does not measure you by how many times you've fallen, but by how many times you choose to rise again. And yet, the hour is late. The world's noise grows louder, while true wisdom grows quiet. Truth is becoming rare, and hearts are being tested. Many are chasing comfort when heaven is calling for courage. This is the moment for the chosen to step forward, not in pride, but in purpose. The light you carry must not be hidden any longer. But light needs oil, and oil needs tending. Every act of faith is oil for your flame. Every time you support, every time you speak, every time you help another carry the message, you are keeping the lamps burning in a dark world. When you like this message, think of it as adding your drop of oil to a lamp that helps another soul find their way home. When you share, imagine it as passing a torch through the night. One flame becoming two, two becoming 10, until an entire coastline glows. When you subscribe, it's not about following a channel, it's about anchoring yourself to a stream of light that will continue to strengthen your spirit. And if your heart feels stirred to donate, know this: you are planting seeds of light in unseen soil. Every seed carries a harvest. Your generosity becomes the wings on which this message travels to places you may never go, but where heaven intends to reach. This isn't transaction, it's transformation. You're not giving away, you're giving forward. Even your comments matter. Words hold energy. And when you write from faith, your declaration becomes part of the message's living echo. Share what it stirred in you. Your testimony might be the very spark another weary heart needs to reignite hope. These acts may seem small, but so does a single match in the dark. Yet once it burns, it teaches darkness to retreat. This is not manipulation, this is participation. Heaven works through the willing. Each click, each share, each word offered in sincerity becomes part of the symphony of light. Heaven is orchestrating across the earth. You are not an observer, you are an essential note in that song. So, as this final warning reaches you, Let it not bring fear, but focus. Remember why you are here. Remember who you are, a child of purpose, a bearer of light, a voice chosen for this hour. Heaven still waits, still hopes, still believes in what you carry. Let that truth sink into your bones. Mercy has not left. It has only grown more urgent. And as long as breath fills your lungs, it is not too late. Use it your time, your words, your faith to shine. Because when the last trumpet sounds, the world will not ask what you achieved, but what you ignited. There is a stillness that follows warning, a quiet unlike any other, not of fear, but of readiness. The atmosphere changes, as though heaven itself leans closer. The chosen can feel it in their bones, the sense that something long promised is finally arriving. You, chosen one, are stepping into that moment. You are being crowned for the last battle. The crown is not of gold or jewels, it is made of endurance. It is forged from every prayer you prayed when no one was listening, every act of kindness given without applause, every tear shed in obedience. This crown is invisible to the world but radiant in the spirit. The enemy sees it and trembles because it represents victory before the war even begins. We find in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed is the one who endures trials. They will receive the crown of life promised by the Lord." That promise is now being fulfilled. You have endured testing, refining, and silence. Heaven has observed your perseverance and now releases authority. You are being crowned not as a decoration, but as a declaration that you have been approved, equipped, and set apart for the final phase of purpose in the kingdom. Crowns are not symbols of status, they are symbols of service. The higher the calling, the deeper the humility. Those who wear heaven's crown do not rule with pride, they lead with gentleness. They are warriors who bow before they battle, kings who kneel before they command. Being crowned for battle means you are no longer fighting for identity, you are fighting from identity. You no longer question whether you are chosen, you move as one who knows. Your steps carry weight now, your prayers shift reality. Heaven has invested authority into your words, and the unseen world recognizes your voice. This battle is not like those before. It will not be fought with fear or confusion. The chosen do not chase shadows, they confront them with light. The weapons of this war are not swords or shields, but truth, faith, and compassion. Where hatred spreads, you will respond with grace. Where despair grows, you will sow hope. The battlefield is the human heart, and love remains the sharpest blade. Do not expect the world to understand your posture. To some, your peace will look like indifference. To others, your restraint will look like weakness. Let them misunderstand. You were never meant to explain your obedience to those who cannot feel heaven's rhythm. Your strength is quiet, your courage steady, your resolve unbreakable. As you step into this new mantle, you will feel the weight of it, a spiritual gravity that calls for deeper discipline. Heaven's generals are not reckless, they are refined. You may find yourself praying more often, fasting without being told, withdrawing from noise without reason. That is not isolation, it is consecration. The crown requires focus. The last battle is not about conquering nations, it is about reclaiming hearts. The enemy's strongest weapon is distraction. But the chosen are learning to see beyond illusion. You will recognize deception not by studying darkness, but by knowing the light so well that imitation cannot fool you. And when you stand in that authority, you will not feel larger, you will feel smaller. True power humbles. You will realize that all along, heaven was not preparing you to dominate but to serve, not to boast but to bless. The crown you wear carries weight because it represents surrender. There will be moments in this battle when you will feel tired, tempted to remove the crown, to rest your head in the old comfort of anonymity. But remember, you were anointed for visibility, not vanity. You were called to stand where others fall, to speak when others go silent. The strength that carried you through the furnace will carry you through this final fight. Your victory will not be measured in applause, but in transformation, the lives healed because of your endurance, the peace that follows your presence, the darkness that retreats when you arrive. That is your legacy. That is the fruit of your faithfulness. When the final battle concludes and heaven gathers its warriors, your crown will gleam not because it was untouched, but because it was worn well, scratched by struggle, polished by perseverance, shining with surrender. And the King who placed it on your head will say, "Well done." Oh, until then, wear it with reverence. Let its weight remind you of purpose, its gleam remind you of glory, and its origin remind you of grace. You have been crowned not for comfort, but for completion. And soon, when the last light rises and the world finally sees what heaven already knows, your endurance will have been worth it all. The veil is lifting. What was hidden is being revealed. And what was promised is now unfolding before your eyes. This is the great unveiling, the moment when heaven's quiet work within the chosen becomes visible upon the earth. You, chosen one, stand at the edge of revelation. Everything you have walked through, every silence, every trial, every season of waiting has led here. The time of hidden preparation is over. The time of manifestation has begun. The ancient words still echo in the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 1. Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb, standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads. No, that vision, once distant, now breathes through this generation. The 144,000 are not merely a number, they are a movement, a frequency, a living chorus of obedience and light. And you are part of it. Heaven has been gathering its remnant, those who refuse to bow to darkness, those who chose truth over convenience, those who carried the flame even when it flickered low. Now the world will begin to see what heaven has seen all along. The unveiling is not theatrical, it is transformational. It doesn't come with fanfare, but with quiet power. The chosen will not need to announce themselves. Their presence will do the speaking. Their peace will disarm chaos. Their love will dismantle fear. And their words will pierce confusion like lightning cutting through a storm. You will notice it happening subtly at first, doors opening without effort, divine connections forming naturally, favor flowing where resistance once reigned. The grace you once prayed for will now surround you. You will move with ease because the season of struggle has fulfilled its purpose. Heaven no longer hides you, it highlights you. But this unveiling is not about personal elevation, it is about divine revelation. The chosen are not revealed for their glory but for God's. Each life becomes a mirror, reflecting his faithfulness. Every testimony becomes proof that the impossible was never impossible for those who believed. You have become the living evidence of what grace can accomplish when surrender is complete. The unveiling will expose both light and shadow. As truth rises, falsehood will tremble. As clarity spreads, confusion will scatter. Many will sense the shift, but not understand it. They will call it energy, intuition, or change. Yet you will know it for what it truly is: heaven reasserting dominion. The earth is responding to the frequency of the faithful. There is beauty in the timing of it. The unveiling does not arrive early, for early revelation ruins preparation. You had to be hidden so that your heart could be strengthened. You had to be misunderstood so that your motives could be purified. You had to be delayed so that your foundation could hold the weight of what was coming. Heaven never wastes a waiting season. Now, the light within you is ready to meet the light outside of you. It will feel like recognition, your inner world finally reflecting in your outer world. You will begin to understand why certain doors stayed closed for so long, because they were not big enough to contain what heaven was building in you. The unveiling requires a stage large enough for the purpose it carries. Yet with revelation comes responsibility. The unveiled ones must walk with caution, humility, and discernment. Visibility is both a blessing and a test. The same light that reveals your calling also exposes your character. Do not let pride follow the light. Remember that what is seen is still only the shadow of what heaven sees. Remain teachable. Remain grateful. Remain grounded. You will notice the world becoming hungrier for truth. They will look for answers in places that have none. When they finally find you, do not speak with arrogance, speak with compassion. You are not their judge. You are their reminder that redemption is still available. The unveiling is not to separate the proud from the humble, but to invite the lost into the light that has found you. This is the hour when purpose meets fulfillment. The scrolls of destiny are being opened, and the names of the faithful are being read aloud in heaven's courts. The time of preparation is complete. The sound of awakening spreads across the nations, not in noise, but in knowing. So stand tall, crowned and calm. As the unveiling unfolds, the 144, 0, 0, 0 are no longer hidden. They walk among us, radiant and resolute. Their silence now transformed into song. The world will see it soon, and heaven will smile, for the prophecy has become flesh, and the promise has found its home. The scroll closes, but the story does not end. You have walked through silence, fire, light, and revelation. Now you stand in fullness, awake, equipped, radiant. The world may never fully understand what heaven has done within you, but it will feel it every time your presence enters a room. The message has been spoken, but its echo now lives inside you. If these words have stirred something in your soul, if you felt seen, strengthened, or renewed, let this moment be your offering of gratitude. When you like this message, it's as if you're lighting a candle beside the others, joining your flame to a sea of faith that pushes back the dark. When you share, imagine sending a dove into someone's storm, carrying peace where despair once ruled. When you subscribe, you're not following a page, you're staying connected to the flow of light that continues to pour from heaven into hearts like yours. And in the comments below, let your voice be heard, not for attention, but as a testimony Tell heaven. Tell others, I am awake. I am chosen. I am ready. You are not just a listener, you are a living part of the awakening.